You're running a little behind today. We're about 10 minutes behind, so we're going to skip the Klein's corner, and he's going to actually end up talking to Coach Bramlett because I got to leave a little early for a training webinar that I have to go to today. So we're going to jump right in and go straight to Coach Hood. So come on in, Coach Hood, and we'll talk some baseball with you. So Coach Hood, before we talk baseball, did you go to a prom last week, a couple weekends ago?
We did go to prom. Yeah, it was an experience. It was awesome.
What'd you guys do?
Well, it started a little bit earlier than I had originally anticipated, so the entire team wasn't able to go. But we got 8 to 10 guys that had pitched on the Friday before in our inter squads, and got those guys over there to the prom, and they escorted the young ladies from the vans and cars into the building.
And what was this prom for? What was it called?
It was called the Sweetheart Prom. It was put on by a friend of mine, Patty Owens, and her organization helped with the Junior Cypress League of Marshall. They do a lot of community service work in town, and essentially for special needs individuals, they held a prom for them, and they were getting free makeovers and had our guys, escort them.
Did you guys get free makeovers?
No, some of them probably needed it, but they escorted the young ladies from their vehicles to the building. And by the time I got there after practice, our guys were in there dancing and taking pictures, and
they probably loved it,
doing a great job. So it was a really, really neat deal, and I'm glad some of our guys got to be a part of it.
And this is just one of several community service items that you do throughout the year with your team.
We try to do a lot. We're any opportunity that we get to go out to love on folks and to really spread the word and act in a way that and really use baseball as that breaching point to to tell people what our mission is here at the ETBU and as Christ followers, and anything we can do to help out. It's what we try to accomplish. So.
And most likely, you got a lot of new fans out of this prom with some of the people that were there for baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
So now we're going to switch over to baseball. American Southwest Conference. You guys are 3-0, starting out so far after sweeping the tournament. But before we talk about that, let's talk about how tough of a conference American Southwest Conference is. The rankings came out today. UT Tyler is 13th. UT Dallas is 23rd. Then below that, Hardin-Simmons is always hard. We're a hard team. Concordia. Just talk about just regionally how tough our conference is overall and what you have to run the gauntlet with going in to postseason for the conference tournament and to get to that.
The conference can flip-flop week after week. We've seen it every year. And it really makes it for a good baseball because you go in every weekend knowing that you have to be your best or you're going to get beat.
Right.
So it's very competitive. It's very tough. And you're talking about winning championships, and I mean that you've got to be good all the time. And the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win. And if you slip up, you're going to get beat. And then that's baseball.
And 2 years ago, Laterno won the conference. Last year, looking at the standings right now, last year you wouldn't have think UT Tyler was going to win out and go into the NCAAs and what they did. And as you said, it depends on who's getting hot at the right time and who makes the least mistakes.
Baseball is a game of momentum, and it's a game of failure. You take a team like Tyler last year. Yeah, their stats weren't good. But the last 3 quarters of the season, or really the last third of the season, they just started playing really good baseball and got hot going into the tournament. And that's what you need. I mean, you don't necessarily want to be playing your best ball right now.
Right.
You want to get hot at the right time, and you guys, keep your guys grinding and the team on their toes. And by the time tournament comes, you want to be at your best.
Yeah. And so far, you look at the standings, ETBU's right there after one series. You guys swept Laterno. Let's talk a little bit about that series. You guys came back from behind, and I think it was in game
Game 3.
Three, you were down 5-0, and he came back to win 7-5. I think 8-6. I think is what the final was. So just talk a little bit about that series and how you got to use several different players and how the team won it overall. It wasn't just a moment here or a moment there. The team is what won the series.
Good pitching, number one. With Ashley Dukes and the freshman Derek Finley, both had 9 strikeouts in their starts.
Yeah.
That's huge for us to get a good start on the mound there, and then timely hitting. Getting base hits with runners on base. Hitting in situations, things that we always, really try to harp on in practice, and we were able to come out with the win in those 2 games. The third game, they jumped on us, and got 5-0 lead, and and it was all hands on deck out of the pen after that, and just hats off to our bullpen and our guys just coming in there and competing and throwing strikes and getting outs. And as our team as a whole, just never given up and continued to chip away, and we ended up able to come back and get the win.
So the team's starting to, after losing 4 in a row, the team's starting to slowly find their identity coming back. Last night, it was down to Dallas early on, came back and won. Last night, you guys sweep University of Dallas, beat them 7-6 walk-off in the bottom of the 9th, and then 7-1 in game number 2. Again, down in that first game, battle back to win. Just talk about that battling mentality you saw in these last 6 games.
Well, the good thing is it's happening from some kids that we haven't quite expected yet. Some guys that are having to mature a little bit early. Some young guys. Some of our older guys, with the years that they had last year, they're getting pitched to. And I don't blame other teams. If I looked at what was happening last year, I'd say, okay, well, these 2 or 3 guys right here, I'm not going to let those guys beat me.
Yeah.
And they're not. So, as our older guys are understanding, they're going to have to really be solidified in their approaches and what they're trying to do at the plate. And when they get their pitches, they're going to have to hit them.
They're going to have to be really specific this year,
right? Because they're not going to get a whole lot, and so they're evolving to that mentality. And our younger guys, when you pitch around some guys, you get walks. They're going to give up some base hits, and then our younger guys are coming up to bat with runners on base and coming through in the clutch. Zach Gardner. This past 6 days or whatever,
right.
What he's been able to accomplish at the plate and just cleaning up the bases has been unbelievable. And he's a sophomore. He's a young guy that's got a lot of promise in the middle of our order.
And he was batting 6th in the lineup?
6th, no, 5th. 5th, and then Landon Barnes is another sophomore that he's leading the team in RBIs right now, and it's all a product of. The older guys continuing to have good at bats and to get on base, even even if it's not, hitting home runs or doubles what they want to do,
right?
Getting walks and taking their base hits when they come, but those younger guys, that's leaving some opportunity for those guys to take advantage.
Yeah,
of
that's been fun to watch that so far. One last question: the home runs. What do you think so far? We don't like to talk about it home a lot, but the last 6 games, you hit a home run in every game. We've played 12 games. I think we've got. 13, 14 home runs, Kenneth? 15 home runs. So they're still battling hard at the plate, and different guys are hitting them this year.
Well, and it goes back to what I was saying. You can't pitch around everybody.
Right.
At some point in time, you're going to have to throw the ball over the plate to somebody in our lineup.
Yeah.
And we've been fortunate enough to have some younger guys. Like I said, when those opportunities come about, they're taking advantage of it. And so they wouldn't be getting those opportunities if it weren't for the guys that they're pitching around.
Right.
And that puts pressure on defenses, pressure on pitching staffs, but also to stay in their approach and be able to handle those pitches and put good swings on them.
And it's going to come down to like it was last year, pick your poison. Who do you want to pitch to?
Right, who do you want to pitch to?
If those 5 through 9 in the lineup start hitting well again, it's going to be one of those things is who do you want to pitch to?
Right. So it's exciting. We haven't hit our stride yet, but it's been good to see that it's been different guys picking us up at different.
And you'll have another regional challenge this weekend. Briefly, taking on Southwestern Friday and Saturday, single on Friday, double on Saturday. Another tough regional opponent to help with the regional play overall. So good luck this weekend, and hopefully you can keep that streak going. And it's always fun to play at Woods Field.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
All right,
So,
Coach. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks.